in how you process and approach new situations, right? So you know how you could get yourself some new things going on in your life, like I'll be explaining, but fuck around and realize history keeps repeating itself because you were approaching the shit the same way, because the shit, you know, is embedded in you. But we was talking about chew the meat, spit out the bones. And here is something that a lot of people overlook when it comes to arguments, constructive criticism, disagreements, people saying things that you don't like. Like, you got to learn to literally, like, approach every conversation and situation with the whole, I'm going to chew the meat and I'm going to spit out the bones. Things that are relevant to me actually moving forward or solving whatever issue or coming up with some sort of logical reasoning behind the point of our conversation is what I'm supposed to gravitate towards. And the stuff that's irrelevant, the stuff that's being said based on emotion, the things that's coming from a space of jealousy or a person, you know, not understanding what's going on, you got to be able to sort that shit and spit it out or leave it. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? So, like, for a lot of people, like, we don't realize when you get angry or upset, there's a sense of truth or some sort of triggered trauma that has you immediately feeling like what you said made me mad. And a lot of times the stuff that people be saying to y'all, it be having some truth and it make you upset. You just don't want to face, like, the realness in what they telling your ass. Some conversations, some arguments, some disagreements, like some back and forth, like, a lot of y'all got to be real. If I just be logical, some of the stuff the person was saying to me, it was based on their feelings and their emotions. We defending ourselves against, you know, the conversation that the other person is throwing at them. So it's some things that said that's irrelevant. That's the bones. Spit that shit out. But then it's some stuff that's the meat. Some shit that's some truth behind what they telling you. And this is how you know this shit to be true. Every single one of us done been in an argument or some sort of conversation where part of what we said came from us just feeling some type of way, and then part of it is how the fuck I really feel. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? This is so true, especially for relationships. And see, like I explained to the lady on the phone, communication is a skill that you're supposed to get better and better at by making yourself less ignorant, making yourself more knowledgeable about strategies and techniques you can use to be a better communicator, which a lot of us, especially in the urban community, we don't fucking take it in. So when I say chew the meat and spit out the bones, what I mean is everybody can relate. You done been in a situation, you arguing with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, could be even be your homegirl or your homeboy. Shit get heated. At some point in the conversation, it turns into a I'm defending myself or I'm just trying to make a point to be right. So some of the shit I'm saying, I don't really mean it. It's coming out a certain way based on emotion. But then behind some of the stuff I'm saying, it's real facts. This is really how I feel. So some of y'all been in relationships, you arguing with a bitch and they, you know, man, fuck you, bitch. You get on my motherfucking nerves and you always doing such and such and such and such. That's why a nigga for real, don't really see no future with you. Now, a lot of that shit, you getting called a bitch, the other stuff, these are bones. Spit that out. A nigga mad, he talking from emotion. If you hood, you tend to cuss, the shit come out. Now, really, it's some meat in that shit. When the bitch started talking about that's why they don't take your ass serious and that's why this shit ain't going nowhere, them be the truths, the reality. Your ass need to sit down. The meat, you need to chew for a second. You ever was eating some meat? That shit kind of chewy, kind of tough. You got to sit there and chew that shit up. Some of what people be saying, that's the meat. You got to chew that shit. Process it. Figure out that this is what they really getting at. And a lot of that shit that y'all like let bother y'all, the stuff y'all pay attention to, it be the bones. Bitch, you can spit that out. Some of everybody talk like that when they mad. You don't like it, move around, but really, that's not what's really the kicker. The kicker is how nigga told your ass ain't no real future in what y'all doing. You still dwelling on how he said bitch, but girl, put the bitch to the side, spit that bone out, and listen to what the fuck a nigga telling you. Because a bitch can apologize for calling you a bitch, but it still ain't gonna change the fact that in their mind, they feel like this is going nowhere. Y'all understand what I'm explaining? Even in family situations, like you get into it with a sister or a brother, you know, they, oh, fuck you and this and that, and then they fuck around and say some shit like, because mama always helping your ass anyway. She don't even really do shit for me. That's why your ass got the stuff going on, because you get all the help. It's like, okay, wait a minute. He called me stupid. You know, nigga was calling me out my name and shit. We arguing. He told me he ain't gonna fuck with me no more. But the real reality is a bitch actually think I get better treatment. Like, this the meat. Let me chew this shit for a minute. Nah, bitch be chewing gum. Like, you really got to sit and process this shit. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. A lot of times behind your anger with what people saying to you or saying about you, it's some truth to it or it's some triggered trauma. Either way, you got to be willing to spit the bones out, bitch, chew the meat. Figure out what the fuck is relevant for moving forward. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? Because this is real shit. At times, you have to stop and think about what's really being said. Yes, because listen, when it comes to disagreements and arguments, when a bitch be in defense mode, we will say all kind of shit. A lot of that shit is just that. Shit. It's bones. Spit that shit out. But then it be key points that your ass need to chew, boy. Because a bitch telling you what they really feel about your ass and shit. You get into it with your lady and shit, and this certain shit. Oh, nigga, you broke. Oh, bitch, you this. Oh, you that. Okay, a lot of that shit is true. Some of that shit have to do with how she feel. But then when the bitch boy, that's why the fuck I really been like, okay, bitch be done fucked around and said some shit to make your ass start to think, okay, a hoe really ain't looking at you like you thought she was. Like, this is really your exit call, right? This is the signal that, nigga, you ain't really respected over here. And it ain't